Premier Scott Moe says all Saskatchewan pipelines are now pre-approved. But what does that actually mean? According to the Premier, it's a call for action. Moe was not available for an interview Thursday, but in a statement, the provincial government said it's always been supportive of the construction of critical infrastructure. Now, in the face of a tariff threat from U.S. President Donald Trump, Saskatchewan wants other provinces and the federal government to adopt its position. Still, experts say a blanket pre-approval for any pipeline is meaningless.
Materially, this doesn't mean anything, right? This is essentially nonsense. This is political discourse.
There's an entire process for a pipeline to be built, including an environmental assessment by an independent regulator and a duty to consult with Indigenous communities.
It doesn't mean anything in the sense of the regulatory process, which is, as I mentioned, something that is done at the federal level. There's a role for provincial governments if they're interested, but there's no such thing as a pre-approval federally or provincially.
What Moe's posts on social media has done is refocus the conversation on domestic energy, just as U.S. President Donald Trump has called for the Keystone XL to be built right now. The opposition NDP says a pipeline is necessary, but so are consultations.
When we made the call for our Saskatchewan task force, we were very conscious to ensure that all voices were included in that, industry voices, public sector voices, Indigenous voices. And whether Premier Moe likes it or not, those are all voices that need to be at the table.
Consultations and approvals aside, some experts say times have changed, and it may not make economic sense to build large pipelines anymore.
There's lots of evidence to suggest that pipeline companies, have turned their interests elsewhere in terms of, still getting their products to market, but by other means, using their already existing networks of infrastructure.
These projects are expensive and time-consuming to build. And with Moe's comments being described as political theater, the experts say pushing pipelines may not be a useful political tool anymore. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.